Double Spurs victory by 2-0 here against Nottingham Forest. Doesn't really begin to tell the story of what we've seen here at the City Ground this afternoon. Jamie Carragher has rejoined Jamie Redknapp and Michael Dawson. What do you make of it? What's your first assessment of that game?
Well, it was a good game of football. I believe that Nottingham Forest will be really, really disappointed. I thought they were magnificent. I really did. In the final third, could have been a little bit more clinical. Had opportunities. First half, you know, putting in areas where he changed, and Ryan Yates in the second half, the header. I think Jamie said it in commentary. That's a big chance. Ryan Yates gets them chances. If he scores, it's a completely different game. I mean, but Spurs do what they do. Hary Kane scores goals, missed the penalty. Eventful second half, but better performance for Spurs in the second for me.
Does the scoreline, Jamie, reflect the balance of play, do you think?
No, not at all. But there's been many a time when we've watched Spurs over the years when they've gone to clubs and not had the result that they wanted. They've had to dig in today. They defended well. Big moments went their way. And when you've got players and you can bring on players and the strength in depth that Tottenham now have, it gives you a massive chance. You see what Richarlison did when he came on, made a goal, looked a real threat going forward. Hary, it wasn't his best day, certainly second half, but he still notches. And it was just a big 3 points for him. But I loved what I saw from Forest today. Real energy. If they keep that up, they won't have a problem staying in this Premier League. It's just a case of can they maintain that week in, week out. But I was very impressed with them today. But
for Spurs, Jamie, is there another a counter-argument that also says they weren't probably at their best, but they're still able to churn out professional performances and get those big results?
Yes, I mean, just watching Spurs this season, I didn't see the first game of the season, the full 90 minutes, but I saw them here today, saw them against Chelsea and against Wolves, and they've looked a little bit, I'd say lethargic, really, but got the job done. Now, is that a deliberate ploy from the manager to actually almost let the opposition control the game, or is it Spurs will get better as the season goes on? I just look at them, you know, playing like that, and you can easily flip that result. If that ends up 1-1...
Don't say anything bad about Hary.
Okay. Okay.
He's behind you. Hary, how are you?
Good.
Congratulations, Hary.
Thank you.
What did you make of that then?
A good win, first and foremost. Difficult place to come. You know, the atmosphere here is really, really good. Didn't play our best, that's for sure. We know that, especially in the first half. But all in all, you know, we dug in. I think there's been a couple of games like that this season already, but we've got the 3 points, which is the most important. But for sure, we know we can do better.
Interesting to hear you say that, because we looked at that first half and we saw you as a team drop quite deep, allow them to have the ball. Was that not a deliberate ploy?
No, I think that was just, I think we've done that in the first half a lot this year already, and then it's taken us kind of a wake-up call until the second half. Then we'd be a bit more aggressive. We become better on the ball because of it. And then, obviously today we got away with it in the first half being 1-0 up, but could have easily been a different story. So for sure, it's something we need to fix, and quickly. We've got a lot of games coming up in a short space of time, so we can't afford to not start the first half well.
Did you expect that level of intensity from Forest today and this crowd?
Yeah, I think any Premier League game, we always expect a tough game, especially away from home. And look, we've had a great pre-season. We feel physically really good. We're just not quite showing it yet. But
what do you think that is?
It's hard to say, you know. At the end of the day, we're still winning games, which is the most important. I feel like second half we're definitely showing physically that we're becoming stronger as the game goes on. But yeah, look, there's a long season left. We're still grinding out wins when we're not playing our best, which is important. And yeah, we've got another important game on Wednesday where we've got to try and start well.
It's the best start in a long time for Tottenham, Hary. Does it feel slightly different this season with the manager and the players that you've brought in?
Yeah, look, I think we've got a fantastic manager. We've got a really strong squad. I think we're going to need that squad over the next period, all the way until the international break. You know, we've got a game every 3 or 4 days, and it's going to be a really busy schedule. So it's really important players who are coming in, who haven't quite started a lot of games yet, are ready for that opportunity. But yeah, look, we're in a good place. We started well. But as we know in the Premier League, it can soon turn round. So we just got to keep focused, keep working, and hopefully keep winning games.
I know you're still catching your breath, but we'll get you to do some analysis for us, Hary.
Yep.
Let's have a look at your first goal this afternoon. And really what we were saying is 5 minutes in, you hadn't shown too much going forward, and then bang, counter-attack goal.
We knew the way they like to press was going to be 3v3 quite a lot with against their defence. And here I just kind of, it's a bit of a scruffy finish, but then ones go in. So the touch was good. The touch allowed me to kind of be able to rather open up and go to the keeper's left or whip it like I ended up doing. Of course, the contact weren't as good as I wanted, but thankfully it went in.
This is a good angle for you, Harry. Are you trying to use the defender and then sort of reverse it into the other corner?
Yeah, that's exactly. The touch allowed me to open up my body and give me two options, you know, and the defender kind of just stepped across and his momentum was taking him across, and it allowed me just to kind of last-minute change. And sometimes that happens. You don't hit it the best, but they still go in.
Second half, a contentious moment, a penalty given to you. You're challenging for the ball with Steve Cook, whose hand goes up. I saw you, or him, chatting to you in the second half, trying to explain what had happened. But what was your take on it?
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much, but if this isn't denying a goal-scoring opportunity, then I don't know what is.
You think you're heading that, do you?
For sure. There's no doubt about it.
The officials were saying it was too high. That's why they didn't send him off.
No, I'm not. The game's over. I'm just really surprised with the decision, but look,
You think you're heading that?
I don't know what else to say. But, thankfully it didn't matter in the end.
Straight away, you know you've got a penalty. The thought process starts of how you're beating an England squad teammate in Dean Henderson. Are the mind games starting very quickly there?
Well, of course, it's one of them where, you know, I've practiced a lot against Dean with England, and I practiced a lot during the week, and you know, I'm pretty focused on what I want to do with the penalty. Just didn't quite strike it how I wanted to. That was a nice height for him. You know, I normally like to go rather low or high, and that was just kind of in the middle. So,
what was on that particular one? Were you aiming low or high?
I was trying to go high, and I just didn't quite connect how I wanted to. But yeah, fair play to him. He's made a good save, and we had a laugh about it.
What did he say to you at the end?
No, he kind of said we was analysing it all week, thinking about where I was going to go, and yeah, look, fair play to him. He's made a great save. He's saved one this year already against West Ham, so he's obviously a really good shot stopper. I thought he played fantastic today for them as well. So yeah, thankfully it didn't matter for us, because I wouldn't have been smiling like that. But yeah, fair play to him.
You got the second goal, and that, I suppose, killed the game off in some ways. It's interesting how it actually comes about, because it looks like there's a really good opportunity here to play you in by Ryan Sessegnon, first of all.
Yeah, I think he was just in two minds what way to go, and he kind of he took maybe an extra touch or so, and we just lost the opportunity. But yeah, I got my hands in my head there a little bit, and then thankfully Richie wins the ball back, and yeah, I just kind of find myself in a good position. He puts a great delivery in with the outside of his foot, and then ones are always nice just to head home and kind of seal the win.
This is the best movement we've seen all day, Harry. Watch this.
Yeah, but that's what I always say as a striker: just be ready for the next opportunity, you know. And great ball by Richie, and yeah, I was there to put it away.
Harry, can I ask you about the role of Richarlison? He's obviously made an impact. You see the ball he's put in there. When he came on at Chelsea, he made a difference as well. We also seen Son. You wouldn't have seen it when he come off on the bench. He was obviously disappointed, and that's normal. You haven't had that before. How important is it for you and the other Kulusevski and Son to deal with that situation when you've got real competition coming from the bench?
Yeah, I think if you want to be a top team, you're going to have to compete for every position, and I think that's what we've created with the squad that we have now. Richie's, whenever he's had an opportunity to play, whenever he's trained, he's done really, really well, and he's biting at the bit to play. And like I touched on at the start of this, we have a lot of games coming up, so we're going to need everyone. Of course, I know Sonny might be frustrated with maybe not scoring yet in the season, but Sonny's a really important player for us, and if we're going to achieve anything this year, we need Sonny to keep doing what he's doing, working hard for the team. He'll pop up with goals, no doubt. But also when players are maybe just not quite out, you need players off the bench to make an impact, and Richie's definitely doing that. On
an individual basis, Harry, I'm sure you're aware their records keep tumbling, and you're getting ever closer to some big names in the Premier League, on level with Andy Cole today on 187, now just 21 behind Rooney, and a little bit further, 73 behind Alan Shearer. And in terms of league goals, we perhaps don't talk about so much, but look at this. Most league goals in the top four divisions since you got your first back in January 2011. Well, you're right out there, clear in front. I bet you remember the first, don't you? Special one for Orient?
Yeah, no, absolutely. 17 years old, here we are, look at this. Nearly missed it, to be fair, at the back post, but yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago, you know. But yeah, look, a young Hary Kane there, but look, I still feel good. Does
it feel as special, that moment now, when the ball goes in the net, as it did back then?
Not see his reaction, but it did come across to him. I think it does.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think scoring a goal is one of the best feelings in the world, and obviously I was lucky enough to do it there for Orient at 17, and still doing it now, and long may it continue.
Look, what do you think you can achieve this season, realistically?
Yeah, look, I think I'm not going to rule anything out, but also I know there's a lot of top teams in the Premier League and in the Champions League. So Of course, we're aiming to be successful and to win something, like I've said for a long time now. But we just can't get carried away. We started really well. I said earlier, we've got a great squad, a great manager. I can feel amongst the fans a lot of excitement, which is great. But I said it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, there's a lot of games to play, and we just got to make sure that we just kind of keep knocking them off when we're not playing well, keep winning games, and see. We've still got a World Cup in between, so we'll come after the World Cup, see where we're at, and go from there.
Is Alan Shearer in your sights? 73, I think it is, to equal him.
Yeah, look, it's still a long way away for sure, but I feel fit. I feel like I've got many more years left in the locker. So yeah, look, every season I want to score goals. I want to be amongst those names we just saw there, and I'm excited for the challenge. You know, Alan and Wayne, two of the best strikers England have ever had. So even to be in that category is nice for me. But for sure, I want to keep pushing myself, see how far I can go, and so far it's been a good start to the season.
I've got something for you before you go. Jamie wanted me to trick you and say it was for somebody else. Player of the match. I hope you've still got room on the mantelpiece, Harry, for all these accolades.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Well done. Thank you very much.
Well done, mate.
Well done, mate. See you soon, mate.
73 short of Alan Shearer. He's just behind us. Be careful. he's still fit. He's still functioning. How many more years can he go on for? Is it realistic?
Yeah, it's realistic. I mean, we were looking at the stats earlier, how many goals he's going to have to score for the next 5 or 6 years, 15 to 20 to equal that. That'll make him to 34, 35. It's a big ask at this day and age. I look at the speed of the game. But Harry does what Harry does. I look at his performances and the whole team. He gets goals whenever he's going through a dip. He'll always pick himself in the middle of the goals where goal scorers score goals. You don't get that many goals playing out wide, middle of the sticks, and he gets his 2 goals today.
What has he got? 29.
29.
29. Yeah. So if he plays for 6 more seasons, he's got to get an average of 12 goals, 12 or so, yeah. 12, 13 goals. Yeah. That's doable. Barring any injuries, I can see him doing it.
Let's show you some more really interesting statistics to compare him to Alan Shearer. It's remarkable how they've got to this point, having played 286 Premier League games. At one stage during this afternoon, they were both on 186. And, of course, Harry got his second and has gone on to 187.